Ja, darauf habt ihr eigentlich schon immer gewartet. Wir haben für euch letztendlich mal eine Kirmes besucht, um mal einen amtlichen Bericht zu machen. Nein, haben wir nicht. Wir sind auf der Frankfurter Musikmesse, dem vielleicht größten Abenteuerspielplatz für Erwachsene, den es auf der ganzen Welt gibt. Da gibt es natürlich auch jede Menge neues, heißes Metal-Equipment. Und darüber hinaus haben wir natürlich noch Leute getroffen, die sowas benutzen, nicht so wie wir.
Ja, wie immer rennen ja eine ganze Menge Prominente rum, also Musiker aus der ganzen Welt. Unter anderem haben wir uns geschnappt Jeff Waters, Jeff Loomis und Victor Smolsky haben wir auch gesehen. Viel Spaß.
So, wir haben hier Joe von Randall und der hat uns ein ziemliches Schlachtschiff hier mitgebracht, nämlich der neue Signature-Amp von Kirk Hammett. Joe, it's a pretty huge amps. I mean, technology is getting smaller these days, but this is quite massive.
It is massive. There's 9 12AX7s, and there's just a lot of stages of gain. It's a classic. It's all tube, high-end transformers, relatively old school design. You're right. Things are getting smaller, but we brought the prototypes to Kirk. And Kirk's been with us for a long time. He used to use our MTS series. And when we brought him these new amps, he just fell in love with them. And just the sound of the band got bigger with the sound of these amps. So looking at the size of the arenas they play, I don't think the amp's too big. This is the pre-production prototype. Kirk was cool enough to let us borrow this back for the show. So he actually used this a couple of weeks ago. It's 3 channels, and there's 7 MIDI functions that you can assign per channel. You got 3 stages of voicing for the gain, plus a boost. There's 2 tube-driven effects loops, and 2 master volumes. So, for somebody like him in a set, there's a lot of dynamic changes, so it allows him and his tech to really have a lot of control throughout a set that's easily accessible via MIDI. So,
if you guys develop a signature amp, how about the design? Is it an idea of the artist, or you have designers who have different?
Our amp designer is a guy named Mike Fortin, and Mike took a design that he had, and then he made some changes that we felt Kirk would like. And we brought the amp to Kirk, and he liked it. And then Kirk came back with more changes and things he wanted to tweak, just things to bring it even further into his personal sound. And we kind of went back and forth a couple of times, and then we had it.
What is this?
This is the Scott Ian Ultimate Nullifier, and this is a 2-channel amp that we did for Scott. It's kind of based on the Thrasher, which we gave to Scott, and he started using on tour. And there's his personal cosmetic and everything. The main difference between this and the Thrasher is Scott's, the master of the right-hand rhythm thing. And with going back and forth with Scott, we changed the character of the first few stages, so it would really just lock into his percussive type of right-hand style. The difference with these amps, the Thrasher and this, compared to a lot of the amps out there, low frequency gain, high frequency gain, and gain. So you actually have control, the frequency selective control over the gain. So if you're playing 7, 8-string low type tunings, you can roll the low frequency gain back, and it'll actually clean up those low strings so they're not all fuzzed out, and so you can really hear the articulation and hear the note. Sometimes a lot of guitar amps don't deal with that low end information that well in high gain. So all of our amps, Mike Fortin's design kind of style is really about articulation and clarity. It's high gain, but not a fuzzed out mess. It's really punchy, tight, and articulate. That's really kind of the sonic signature we go after.
So thank you very much.
You got it.
Yeah.